This is not okay with me, were the words I said for the first time when I was returning from my vision quest. I was crossing the threshold, returning back to my classmates. Ishtar, our Jewish Turkish wisdom guide, was waving sage, ringing a bell, and welcoming us all back into the regular world. We had all gone out, 14 of us, to pick out a place in the land all by ourselves to spend 4 days alone, with only water, a sleeping bag, and ourselves. No food. We each got to choose a spot. I chose a spot by a creek, a very tall tree. It was protected in the shade, and it was mosquito infested. So I spent the time safe. I was not out in the wild. I didn't have the risk of wild animals, but I was slapping mosquitoes off me the whole time and finding creative ways to sleep at night that wouldn't eat me alive. A few days later, we sat in a circle to integrate our experiences. This is not okay with me, were the words I said for the first time out loud to my classmates. They smiled and nodded and understood where I was coming from. A couple days later, Ishtar, she begins speaking and invites us all to return back to our site and have a sweet prayer or blessing, enjoy ourselves. She didn't finish her sentence, and I leaped into her lap and said, I am not going back to my place. That is not okay with me. She comforted me in her motherly way for a few moments and said, okay, Mira, let me know after you get back from your place. I returned to San Francisco. I'm a financial advisor, a money coach. I deep dive with people around their relationship to money. And I begin processing what was going on for me in this experience. What are the millions of ways I need to apply this big learning? And I start a process of what I know to be called now conscious uncoupling. And I started uncoupling with a partner. I started uncoupling with some business partnerships. And I uncoupled with meat. I also decided to end my time in the Bay Area, and I moved across the country to New York City. I'm in New York City, and I deep dive down this conscious uncoupling path. And I start working with this emerging love coach named Tall. And he's actually 6'8". And his name's Tall. And we explore, and I start listing on paper all the reasons why have I been in these relationships? Why am I doing all these things that just aren't quite right for me? And this is what I want to talk about tonight. I think and feel so deeply that as women especially, so often we accommodate and tolerate and accept things that are just not right for us. Whether it's a pay, whether we're offered a certain paycheck, and it's just quite a little bit below what we know is fair, but we don't want to quite rock the boat, so we just kind of accept it to make it all work out. Or maybe someone says something to us and it just doesn't land quite right. But we accommodate and we brush it off our shoulders and we know they meant well. Or there's these moments I know about where I'm doing metaphorical yoga and I'm bending in these weird positions to make everything work out. And that is no longer okay with me. So there I was. In comes Dawn Gallagher, TV host, best-selling author, all-around amazing woman supporting sustainable brands, and her friend and colleague, Dr. Julie Polin. They're in the audience tonight. Dr. Julie Polin is a climate scientist and in tune with what is going on with climate change and heat waves and how this is impacting our planet. They said, Mira, we know you're really busy, but we really need to talk to you. We've been told you're the person. There's something we need to discuss. We want to create an organization called Women Power Our Planet. We get that women and people are investing their money in things like fossil fuels and all sorts of things that are not creating the future that is going to work for us to have a sustainable and just planet. Do you want to be a part of this? Inside, I'm silently nodding and saying yes, And I'm starting to realize this must be what conscious coupling with business partners feel like. There was alignment and ease and shared passions. The next thing I do is I look on this report called the Fossil Fuel Report Card 2019. And I'm scrolling down the document. And I see these banks listed and the amount of billions of dollars they have invested in fossil fuels. And it's a 30-year plan of continued investments to keep this going. So I'm scrolling down the list and I look, number 1 on the list, Chase Bank, $300 billion. Number 2, Bank of America. Number 3, Wells Fargo, billions of dollars. And I'm sitting there going, I have a checking account at Chase Bank. I have my money with someone who's investing in something that is not okay with me. We have our first event. We launch at the Assemblage down in John Street in the financial district. I'm hosting a panel, talking to people around climate change, how to invest your money, conscious investing. It's a huge success. You could hear a pin drop in the room. Everyone starts to leave. They're saying goodbye. And I say, hey, wait a minute, everyone. I have something to say. I'm breaking up with Chase Bank. We're going to have a party. It's going to be #breakupwithyourbank. August 29th, Astor Place, 5 p.m. You're all invited. We're at Astor Place. It's myself, Don Gallagher, Julie Poland, Cece, a friend of ours in media, a model activist, Robin, and this really cool influencer photographer, EJ. And we're hanging out in the plaza. And we're all wearing these pink t-shirts that say #breakupwithyourbank, and on the back, Women Power Our Planet logo. I'm wearing leather pants, sparkling shoes, huge earrings, hot pink lipstick, and we're having a blast. Even on my way there, I did this Instagram story, and I leave this comment, and I say, I'm really nervous right now. It's like I'm actually breaking up with a real person or something. Like I'm going in to break up. So we get ourselves together, and we walk inside Chase Bank. Our first scene is in the lobby. And I put my ATM card into the Chase ATM, and I start taking my money out for the last time. And as I'm taking my money out, I'm thinking, I am taking back my money, my power, my vote for the last time. This is mine. We then enter the bank. We're walking through. Everyone's looking at us, kind of excited and nervous as to what we're up to. I put my name on the list to meet with a personal banker. He calls me in. I go into the cubicle. I fill out the paperwork. I tell him, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Chase Bank invests $300 billion in fossil fuels. And not only is that not in alignment with my values, but that just doesn't work for me. He said, I got you. You're right. I then asked him if I could video, and he said, sure. So I play the video of us, and he said, what you're up to is really cool. I hope the CEO sees this. And I said, I do too. He said, then, what would you like me to put down as the reason why you're closing your account? And I said that Chase Bank is investing in a way that does not work for me. And he said, okay, we don't have that option. Would you like? He said, would you like me to add that, put a request in to have that added? And I said, you betcha. There's 1 million more women coming. You see, after I broke up with Chase Bank, everything changed in my life. It was like one door closed that was not in alignment for me, and it allowed this other door to open for things to flood in that did work for me. In came, first of all, tons of new energy, clarity of mind, confidence in what I had to say, and also new business partnerships, new friendships, and people everywhere I knew letting go of everything in their life that didn't work for them. The ripple effect. You see, alignment for me, I've been starting to discover, is when I tune into my heart and my soul, and I find out what's really true, what's really right for me. And then I bring that out into the world and I act on it. And when I do that, I'm in this state of abundant and infinite possibilities that are a match for me. And that's what I want to invite you tonight, to start that process. I think there's 3 steps. The first step being awareness. So I want you to take a minute and think about your banking, for example. When you think about your bank, are you banking with a bank where you believe in how they're spending your money? They're crowdfunding your money? Are they investing in a future that you want to create? Or think about maybe your investments. If you're invested in the market or you're invested in impact, are your investments something that you're like, yes, those are companies I want to grow, they have my vote, I'm all in? Or maybe your financial advisor or financial planner. Do you feel like that person has your back and gets you? So that's awareness. And the second step can be an action. Maybe it's breaking up with your bank. Maybe it's breaking up with beef or your boyfriend. And then lastly, the gift is alignment. You'll find yourself in that place. So in a minute, I'm going to invite you all to stand up. And I want you to feel into that piece that, as I've been talking, just isn't quite sitting right with you. And I'm going to ask you to say, that is not okay with me. So go ahead and stand up. So feel free to jump or scream or dance, yell. I really want you to feel it into your body. This is not okay with me. Okay, so on 3. 1, 2, 3. This is not okay with me. Congratulations. Congratulations and happy uncoupling.